Hey there, hi there, ho there. Happy Sunday, happy week 22 of getting to know me. Yep, still got my smart face on. Yeah, I looked at my contacts the other day and sadly I cracked one of them, so gonna have to get some more when I can. Anyway, happy Sunday. Hope that you're all having a fantastic day. And this morning we took my youngest son's friend back out to the airport and said bye to him. So he spent the last month and a half here at the farm with us. So we've really been enjoying having him here. So it was very sad to see him go. So if I have time, I'll tell a story about being at the airport later. But anyways, this week we're going to do one of those questions of what is something that I do that makes people look at me funny? Many things, first off. I'm kind of a funny person, not comedian style like Adam Sandler or somebody, but anyway, aside from my personality and stuff, I would have to say it's my is what it is attitude. I'm the everything happens for a reason, it is what it is, it's one of those things. So it's also not to say that I try to be optimistic, but there are times that, yes, I will have my down times. So I try to ignore negativity or just, push it down, push it down, push it down, push it aside, because I really don't like negative. But there are times where it's just too much negative will eventually affect me. But for the most part, I like to be very optimistic and have a positive outlook on life. And being that way, you have to have that it is what it is type of attitude, that you can't change everything, you can't challenge everything, that just some things are just the way they are, and that you need to just be okay with that. You can't have control of everything. And it's also, that goes along with everything happens for a reason. I used to get mad about red lights and stuff. It's not to say that if I'm on a strip and I hit every single red light, of course I'm still going to be like, oh my God, please give me a green light. But I believe that, okay, maybe these red lights are happening just because of something that's out there, so I need to go ahead and apparently take more time. So, it's one of those things. If you can't find something that you're looking for, then if you've looked everywhere and you're to the point of being frustrated, unless if it's something that you absolutely have to have right then and right there, otherwise just quit looking. Whatever it is, it'll show up when you are meant to find it. So anyways, that's just, like I said, I try to have that it is what it is type of attitude with life. Because you can't change everything. So if you guys have been watching my videos, it's one of those that, so many weeks ago I had told you all that I lost my first child. And I was 5.5 months along, and yes, it was devastating, but if I didn't lose that first pregnancy, then I wouldn't have my oldest child that I have right now. So just because of time frames, and I got pregnant just after I had lost my first pregnancy, and I freaked out, and I was just going, oh my goodness, I can't go through this again, I can't, it's what if, and oh my gosh. And I've experienced other situations like that too, but it's one of those where if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't have my oldest child. So I try to look at life that way in general, even with job situations and stuff. Have you ever been in a company that downsized? Were you part of the downsize? Were you let go? And if that happened to you, are you happy where you're at now? Well, if that didn't happen, then you wouldn't be where you are now. So I like to think that roadblocks happen for a reason. Roadblocks are telling us to stop, reassess the situation. Are you still on the right path, or do you need to change paths? So it's not that a roadblock is a stop, done. Nope. No, it's roadblocks are, instead of going straight, do you need to go right? Do you need to go left? Or do you just need to make it over, build a bridge and make it over and continue going straight? So, or do you need to turn around, go back, and then take a right or a left or what? So, anyways, roadblocks, I try not to get mad at that stuff anymore. And I try to look at it of the universe's way of telling me, stop. This is not meant for you. You are meant to do something else. But me, I am very strong-willed and everything, so if I don't have something telling me to stop, I'm going to keep going. So I try not to get mad about stuff like that anymore, and just life experiences and everything. I've grown up enough that I've been able to, things that used to upset me and all of that stuff, it's different. So another example of that is I was in the DEP program and I shipped out. I went to boot camp. I was going to be in the Navy. And I had my whole life planned out. I was going to be a lifer and retire through the Navy, and I was going to travel, and yeah, I had my whole life planned out. But anyway, when I was in boot camp, I started to have severe pains, and I wasn't getting over it or anything, so they sent me to the medical office, and they did so many exams and everything, and then they finally determined that I have what was called endometriosis, and apparently it's disqualifying to the Navy. So we won't dive into what that is or anything, but point is I was then shipped back home. I was discharged from boot camp and shipped back home. And I was devastated. It was one of those, but I had my life planned out. I was going to retire. I was going to travel. I was going to serve the country. And, life had a different plan for me. So, after so much time went by and many years, I figured out that, okay, well, obviously that was not meant for me, because if I did continue down that path, then I wouldn't have any of my children, because I wouldn't have, met their dad, and it wouldn't have happened that way. So I would be somewhere completely different right now if I did stay. So many examples, many years of things that I could talk about, and I'm sure that you all have your own examples and experiences where you were gung-ho, you wanted to do stuff, and then all of a sudden you had, wham, life threw you a curveball. So instead of getting mad, change your swing. Is what it is. Go with the flow. Don't get mad about it, deal with it. So not everything can go according to plan, and maybe that plan that you had wasn't going to be a good plan. Just saying. Or maybe, once again, you just need to build that bridge to get over it, to continue. So reassess. So if you find that you're running into roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, then maybe that's life, that's the universe, it's telling you not right now. It's not saying no, it's just saying not right now. So, is what it is. Everything happens for a reason, whether we like it or not. So, yeah. A lot of people will look at me strange when they try to tell me something and I go, okay, kind of sucks. Yeah, is what it is. And, you know, especially if they're trying to go on a tangent about it, then, you know, that's one of those, what? What did you say? What? Why? Why do you feel that way? How can you feel that way? And like I said, it's years of experience of my life going through all of these things. So I've just learned that it's not worth it to get mad about things. In fact, the older I get, the more I dislike anger. I dislike fighting and arguing, and I don't like the negativity. I want to be happy. I want to, I want everybody to be loving and caring and sharing and sunshine and rainbows and all that wonderful unicorn rainbows, all that good stuff, sparkles. Yes, I'm weird like that, but that's me. So that is something that I do that people will tend to look at me strange for when something happens, is just trying to have that attitude of, okay, well, is what it is. What are we going to do? So, yep. Okay, so back to the airport. So it was really funny. In case anybody flies, I'll say it because I want to warn you. In case you fly Frontier and you are flying out of an airport that you're not used to, make sure that maybe you find out if they have different rules and stuff for that airport. So here it was this morning, well, afternoon really, we got to the Cincinnati airport, because that's, Cincinnati, Ohio, which really the Cincinnati is right there, the very tip outside of Ohio. It's in Kentucky, but where our house is located, we're almost halfway between Cincinnati and Lexington. So more direct flights are going in and out of Cincinnati, so that's the airport that we use. Anyway, in case anybody uses this airport, or once again, you're going somewhere, flying back from an airport that you're not used to, check with your airline, check what their rules and everything are, because here it is, we have our unaccompanied minor that I can't just drop him off and say, bye, have a great flight, good luck going through security. No, when you have an unaccompanied minor, you need to get a gate pass. You need to go through security with them. You need to get them to their terminal that they're flying out of, their gate, and you need to sit there, you need to wait for them to get on the plane, and you cannot leave the airport until that plane takes off. That is what having an unaccompanied minor is. So, we still got to the airport over 2 hours early. Actually, it was almost 3 hours early because his flight didn't leave until about 12:15 is when it was scheduled. And we got to the airport before 10 o'clock, okay? And we get in and we see this long line, and, so we're walking past that line and we see that, okay, well, it's for Frontier. But that's not a big deal because I've done this plenty. Side note for anybody that doesn't know, if I've never said it, my oldest child is from a previous relationship. So I personally have experienced the whole unaccompanied minor for many, many years and many, many flights. Okay? So I know how the process goes. And I don't need to wait in line with everybody else that's actually flying. So I go past them and I go into the separate line because it is supposed to be a separate line of additional services. Okay, unaccompanied minors is a additional service. So we're waiting, and I'm looking, and just to be fair, it wasn't just Frontier. Allegiant, Alliance, something like that, and there was some other smaller airline that I don't think I've ever even heard of. But so Frontier and Allegiant and whoever this other one, there's nobody, no one at the counter, and it's now after 10 o'clock, nobody. And there's this long line of everybody waiting to be checked in, and I'm going, where is everybody? Is this normal? Oh my God, what's going on? I need to get him to the airplane. What if security takes forever? Because when we went to pick him up, it took us an hour and a half just to get through security. So I'm going, oh my God, and we're here like 2.5 hours early. So we're waiting and waiting and waiting, and so finally about 10:15ish or so, one person, and keep in mind there is probably 200 or more, I don't know, I didn't count, but probably at least 200 people. It was a long line, if not more than that, waiting to get checked in for their flights, and you could tell that everybody is starting to get nervous too, because they know time's ticking. And so one person comes up to the counter, and then she yells at everybody, make sure you have your IDs ready. And then she looks at me and she goes, line's there. I said, yeah, I have a unaccompanied minor. He's the only one flying. I gate pass. And so she starts getting all these other people and everything, and we didn't move. We certainly did not get into the other line. And so anyways, she finally lets me go ahead and get the gate pass, and then she tells me that, oh, well, unaccompanied minors, you have to be in the exact same line as everybody else. And I'm going, okay, I'm sorry, that is news to me. I've never come across that before. And then, okay, so I had 2 of my children with me also, because they wanted to say goodbye to him too. And so she gives me my gate pass, and she gives me, the flight ticket, whatever. And then she, trying to shoo us away, I said, I gate passes for the other 2. And she throws a fit, even though these children have all been standing with me from the beginning, and I don't know what she expected me to do with them. I mean, kids don't have snooze buttons or lockdown mode or any of that. I've never discovered it, so if you know that button, let me know. But anyways, so she gave me grief about getting them gate passes too, which I think is funny because, once again, I dealt with this for years, and even as my younger 3, you don't have a choice. You have to bring your kids with you, seriously. And so I never had grief about getting gate passes.